3 years ago, Stefanos Tsitsipas walked onto the court at the Australian Open knowing that a win in the final would make him the #1 player in the world. Number one, the best tennis player on the planet. Today, he's fighting to stay inside the top 50. Let that sink in for a second. So here's what went down. Tsitsipas was the defending champion in Dubai. He won that title last year, which meant he had 500 ranking points to defend this week. Big chunk of points, the kind you really don't want to lose. He drew Ugo Humbert in the first round. And look, Humbert is a solid player, a lefty with a dangerous serve and a tricky game. But this was the defending champion on a court where he'd lifted a trophy 12 months ago. You'd expect Tsitsipas to at least make it competitive. To dig in, instead, gone. 6-4, 7-5. 2 sets, first round out, and here's the brutal part about the scoreline. It wasn't even a match where Tsitsipas played badly the whole time. He actually served well for most of it. He lost just 5 points behind his first serve in the entire match. 5. But the moment the pressure arrived, the moment it actually mattered, he folded. In the first set, up 5-4 on Humbert's serve, he gifted the Frenchman 2 double faults, an unforced error, and the set. Second set, same story. Held comfortably until the business end, then crumbled. That pattern, that specific pattern, that's what's been haunting Tsitsipas for 2 years now. Now let's talk about what this loss actually means on paper, because it's kind of staggering. By losing in the first round without defending those 500 points, Tsitsipas drops to around world number 42. And depending on how the rest of the week goes in Dubai and Acapulco, if a few other players go deep, he could slide even further. We're potentially talking outside the top 45. For context, the last time Stefanos Tsitsipas was outside the top 40 was May 2018, nearly 8 years ago. He was a teenager back. Then, still finding his feet on tour, still figuring out who he was as a player. Since then, he's been a fixture in the elite, top 10 for years, a Grand Slam finalist, a man who spent time at world number 3. And now, for the first time in almost a decade, he's on the wrong side of that invisible line that separates the contenders from everyone else. This didn't happen overnight. If you've been watching his results over the last couple of years, you could see this coming. The early exits started piling up. The confident, aggressive Tsitsipas, the one who attacked the net, who played with this flair and creativity that made him genuinely exciting to watch, that version of him started showing up less and less. There were injuries. There was a very public split from his longtime coach and father, Apostolos. There were confusing decisions, strange press conferences, and a general sense that something behind the scenes wasn't quite right. He even admitted publicly that he stopped enjoying the game at certain points. That's not a small thing. That's a player telling you the fire isn't burning the same way. And the results just kept getting worse. Second round here, first round there, quarterfinal on a good week. For a player of his talent, it became genuinely uncomfortable to watch. He showed a tiny flicker of something in Doha last week, beat Medvedev, made the quarterfinals, and there was this small wave of optimism. Maybe he's turning it around. Maybe Dubai would be the start of something. Then Humbert, first round, 86 minutes, done. So where does he go from here? Indian Wells is next. And here's the problem. He has 4th round points to defend there too. If he doesn't go at least as deep as he did last year, the ranking drops even further. He could realistically find himself outside the top 50 by the time the clay season rolls around. That would have been an unthinkable sentence to write 3 years ago. At 27 years old, Tsitsipas isn't done. Let's be clear about that. There's still time. There are players who have gone through brutal stretches like this and come back, but something has to change, whether that's his coaching setup, his mental approach, or just rediscovering that hunger that made him one of the most exciting players in the world. Because right now, the talent is still there. You can see it in flashes, but talent without confidence, without belief, without that competitive edge, it doesn't win matches on the big stages. And for Stefanos Tsitsipas, the stages don't get much bigger than the ones he used to own.